Hi guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this tutorial I'll be teaching us how to cut this asymmetric dress, most especially the upper part of the dress, and in my next tutorial I'll be showing us how I sewed it and made the flounce. So let's get started. Before we go ahead with our tutorial, kindly follow us on all our social media handles on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Pinterest. Just search for Wealala. And we also have a sewing group on Facebook, Cut and Sew by Wealala. So let's get started with our tutorial. Now, to cut an asymmetric bodice, you need to know how to draft a basic bodice pattern. So I'll be dropping the link in the description box. I have done a detailed tutorial, okay? And you should draft this on fold. Yeah, your pattern should be drafted on, so you should make sure you draft on fold, and then you would be needing your tracing wheel to trace out everything you drafted here so that it can reflect on the other side of the pattern paper. So this is my tracing wheel. You're going to use it to trace out all the markings, all the lines, everything, okay? You just apply a little first to the tracing wheel, and then you'll be able to trace to the other side, and then you'll use your ruler, the curved ruler, and your pencil to trace everything out. But I'm using marker because this is a tutorial, and so that you'll be able to see my tutorial clearly. Okay, so now I'm going to separate the front and back patterns. That's the first step. So like I said, because it's asymmetrical in nature, you have to draft the front and back on fold. And my neck width is 3.5 inch. So you will see that I didn't draw the neckline yet. Okay, so now that I've separated the front and back, obviously front is longer than the back, but after closing the bust dart, it's going to be equal. Okay, now I will open up my front pattern this way. Now I want to create the asymmetric neckline. It's pretty simple. So first thing first, on the side I have decided to use for the off shoulder. Okay, from the shoulder line I will come down by at least 4 inch. Okay, so but for this tutorial I'll be doing about 6. So don't forget that we already cut out 1 inch for the shoulder slants. Okay, there. So I'll just mark about 6 inches or 6.5 inch. So this is the side I will be using as the off shoulder. Okay, there. Then for the neck depth, or for the neck width, the original neck width is 3.5 inch. So I'll just be extending the bit. Okay, I'll be extending the bit about with half inch anyway. So then for the neck depth, you should have a minimum. Okay, so if you're a normal size, you shouldn't go less than 3.5. okay, anything above 3.5 will make it going to choke your neck. All right, so but I'll be doing about 4 or 4.5 inch. I really don't want any inconvenience around my neck. Okay, yeah, so I'll be linking the 3 points together. First of all, I'll link that neck depth to the part of the armhole where I have the off shoulder there. Then I will link this back to my neck, the tip of my neck. Yeah, so I'm using my curved ruler to do that. Okay, then we are going to adjust this shoulder line slightly, this one here. That's because, for an off shoulder blouse you need to do what we call contouring or blending, so that you don't have any gaping around the neck, because there is no support to the shoulder. I mean for the side where you have the off shoulder. So we're going to be blending. That's about 3/4 of an inch on both sides of the shoulder that's here. So because it's too close to the armhole, I'll just tilt the shoulder that's slightly to the forward. Okay, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is for you to link it back to the bust point. Okay, so I'm just going to shift it forward a bit, with about 1 inch. Okay, yeah, that's 1 inch. So I'm going to link this back to my bust points. Okay, good. So here, so I'm not using the first line again. Yeah, so I'm just blending out any rough edge. So this is the line I'll be using now. Okay, yeah, so yeah, this is my neckline here. So I'll just use my marker to cancel the line I'm not using anymore. Yeah, so I hope we're good. Now I can go ahead to do my blending, which is 3/4 of an inch on both sides of that shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to use my French curl to blend. So I'm marking 3/4 of an inch on both sides of that line. I'm repeating myself again, and then with your French curl, you're going to blend like so. So now the essence of this contouring is this part of the dress that is off shoulder would have a good grip around your bust, since there is no support to the shoulder. Okay, so we don't need that upper part again. Now before we cut out, I'm going to fold in my darts, and we're also going to be blending the neckline there. Yeah, because of this dart that we just introduced, after folding in the darts, you might have a little disalignment on the neckline. Okay, so you need to blend. So after you fold the dart like so, all right, you can just use your French curve or any of the curves. You place it around that neckline and then blend. Okay, so I'm just going to blend like that. It's a very simple exercise. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out the unwanted parts. So but before we do that, I'm going to close my dart and pin it. Then we are going to place this pattern on the back, because we're going to be using the back front to cut the back. So this is my back pattern here. I've already pinned this zipper allowance. Okay, then I'm going to place my front pattern on it like this. Then I'll pin this side of the shoulder. Then you notice that the side of the front is longer than the back. That's because I've not trimmed off the excess there. Okay, then I'll fold in my darts and use my pin to hold that. Okay, then this side of the body that is off shoulder, on the back pattern, you are going to readjust the armhole by 1/2 inch, so that you don't have this excess poking out. So what I'm doing now, I'm just cutting out the neckline first. Okay, after cutting out the neckline, then I'm going to separate the front and back. Like I said, we're going to reshape the back armhole for the part the off shoulder side. Please, you're not going to tamper with the part that has shoulder. So I'll just come in by 1/2 inch, on the back here, just 1/2 inch. Then I'll use my curve to reshape the armhole by 1/2 inch. Yeah, and I'll just trim that off. So I have my 2 back pieces. So like I said previously, this tutorial is just going to be cutting. I will still post a tutorial later. That is, if we're interested, you can leave your comment in the comment section if you want me to post the sewing tutorial of this dress. Okay, so back to what we're saying. This is the back pattern here, and we are done. Yeah, we're done with the back pattern. So let's go back to the front. So at the front, I'll be cutting out all the darts, and I'll first of all fold my waist dart like this. I'll cut on one side and then close it. But before you can close it, you need to cut out the dart at the top part here, so that it will be easy for you to close the bust dart. So you just close it this way. After closing, you will need to align the side line properly like that, and then you just use a pin to hold the pattern together, or you use your masking tape. Okay, so I'll just trim off the excess I have at the side there, and here I'm trimming off the waist darts. Okay, so I'm just pinning. This is one part of my front bodice. I'm trimming out my dart. Yeah, so I'm just doing the same thing on the other side there. So you can see that the other side of my pattern has the shoulder, while the other side is your shoulder. So that's why it's called an asymmetric. That's why it's called an asymmetric bodice. Yeah, so I'm just trimming out the excess, and I'm cutting out the waist dart on the other side of my bodice here. Yeah, so like I said, if you want me to post a full tutorial on how to sew this dress, you can do so in the comment section. Yeah, so if we respond, I will post the video tutorial. So this is my back pattern, and obviously the front pattern too. So I'll be transferring this to my fabric, and then we'll start the sewing tutorial. Okay, so I'm using the lace fabric here. This is the back pattern, and I'll be adding my double lining, satin or taffeta. This is my basic sleeve for one side of the dress, and then front pattern. This is my front pattern here. Yeah, so I'll also be cutting a lining on this. Now let me quickly show us my pencil skirts. I'll be adding a pencil skirt to this to give me the full dress. And then for the flounce that we'll be adding to the side, I will do that in my next tutorial. That is, if we respond in the comment section. I need to know that we actually want to see the tutorial. Yeah, so thank you so much for listening to me. Do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and share. Thank you so much.